Hello folks, this is John Oakes and I'm coming to you from Hankster's Hot Rods today here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom. And today, as always, whenever you see me here on YouTube, we're going to go over our next addition to our inventory here. And this is going to be a 1967 Plymouth GTX. Now, just a little bit about this car. Again, just a real little tidbit here of information on what we believe to be true about this car. We think that the panels are all original, and this paint may very well be all original to the car. So as we walk around the car, keep that in mind. We didn't want to go too in depth with changing a lot of things to it because of the originality of this car. And also with this, we believe after doing all the decodes and checking all the casting numbers and so forth, that this does in fact have what we believe to be the original motor, transmission, and rear end for this particular car. So having said that, we will continue on now with our walk around here of the car. So again, 67 Plymouth GTX. You can see here it's done in the red exterior, and it does have the black GTX stripes up over the hood here, including up over those dual hood scoops on that steel GTX hood. As far as what we always talk about, you know, things like the bright work, all of your moldings, bumpers, so forth like that, all the trim work. You can see the bumpers are in great condition on this car. We do have the Belvedere GTX emblems here on the front side here of the front fenders. We also have these wheel lip moldings here that are in really good shape on this car. Of course, all four of them have them nicely polished up, nice and straight, no dents or dings in any of those. We'll just kind of go over that stuff real quick. We've got the rocker moldings here done in the bright as well. The door handles. We've got our mirror up here in chrome. Glass is in great shape, and again, this is a remote adjustable mirror from inside the car, so you can do it with the window up. All of your moldings around your windows, all the way around your drip rails and so forth, all of that stuff is in great condition on this car. Nicely polished up, no dents or dings, and I don't see any pitting on any of that stuff either. So all of that's in great condition. Let's take another look at another piece of the shiny stuff here on this car, and that's going to be the wheels here. So again, a very nice look on these older cars here, the older Mopars especially. You've got the chrome steel 14-inch Magnum 500 wheel there with the center cap, and again, the chrome is in great condition on that wheel. And then of course you've got the Cooper Cobra radial GTs, and these are 225/70 R14s on all four corners of the car, and the tread is in great condition. As a matter of fact, when we get this car up on our lift for you to see the underside, you'll see how well those tires are and how nice the wheels are too. As far as the panel fitment and alignment on the car, everything is really nicely done on this car. Again, you can see all of your gaps here. You got your front gap and your rear gap here to the back side of the door. Those are very uniform front to back. As far as your body lines go, everything matches up excellent on this car. And your elevations, when you compare it, your door to your fender and your door to your quarter panel, elevations are really great on this car too. Windows in this car, all the glass, you can see no chips, no cracks, no scratches in any of it. The glass is in great shape. The other thing that we always kind of check out here is I'll always kind of run my finger through this rain gutter here to make sure I don't feel any bubbles or anything. Now again, that's not necessarily a out of the ordinary thing to feel that. Sometimes you'll get some, you know, like the silicone or stuff, but on this particular car, nice and smooth all the way through there. Your vinyl top too is in great condition here. All of your seams on that vinyl top are great. Again, no bubbles whatsoever all the way down the edge here, and even down here at the bottom where you'll see see sometimes some bubbles on a lot of older cars with the vinyl tops. This car is nice and smooth underneath that vinyl top here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our interior. And we'll check this out here. So the interior of the car, done here all in black. You can see it's got the front bucket seats, rear bench. Those are vinyl upholstered. The upholstery on the car is in great shape. No rips or tears in any of the seat covers. You can look at the carpeting. No rips, tears, no real fading either inside here. Again, the carpeting for 67 looks to be in great shape. You can see the full-length center console there with the automatic console shifter, factory dash in here, factory steering wheel. You do have the AM radio down there. And then if we take a look down below, it has had an 8-track added to it so that you can listen to your favorite oldies tunes there on that 8-track radio. It does have seat belts, both front and rear. You can see the door panels are in really good shape. The actual armrest pads too are in great shape with no cracks or tears in any of that. It's got all the factory instrumentation, but it does have a tachometer pretty much right in the center of the dash, underneath, right beside your 8-track radio. The other thing we always check out on these cars are all of your weather stripping and seals. So your weather stripping up around the top of the door here, your vertical seals here on your quarter windows, your door jamb U-seal, and then all of your weather stripping here on the door and rubber bump stops. All present, all in good shape, nice and soft, no rips or tears in any of it. It's going to seal up very well from the outside elements. Let's go ahead and close this up. Shuts nice and easy. Again, closes flush there. Really nice. As we come back the quarter panel of the car here, you'll see that flip top gas lid here. So that is where your fuel fill door is, obviously. It's got the stock tank in it, so no surprises there. The tank's in great shape. We'll see that here in a little bit. As we come around the back side of the car now, you'll see that those black stripes, the black GTX stripes, they continue their way here onto the rear trunk of the car. That big rear glass here in excellent condition. No chips, cracks, or scratches there. All of your molding is in great shape and all attached as it should be. Your gaps around your trunk lid here are all really, really nice. Of course, on the back end of the GTX, you do have the cladding here on the trunk lid itself. That is all in good condition. All the bright work there, polish up really well. And again, that rear bumper is really nice too. You also see it does have a nice set of chrome exhaust tips, and then your things like your tail lights, the lenses and bezels, those are all in really good shape. There are no cracks or chips in the lenses, and the bezels there are polished up very well for a 1967. Of course, you got your reverse lights right up here too. Those lenses are in great shape too. Now what we'll do next is we're going to open our trunk lid up. We'll take a look inside. So as I raise it up, of course, the key does work the latch. Lock works very well. The underside of the trunk, it's going to be the same color as the exterior of the car. And as I mentioned there, again, this is kind of an all original car here. So we didn't want to touch too much of it and change it up much. Kind of wanted to leave it, you know, and it's in the state that it came to us in. You do have your jack instructions up here. The inside of the trunk lid itself, nice carpeted mat in here. You do see you've got a full set of floor mats with the embroidered GTX on the front ones. You do have your jack mounted right here, and then underneath all of this you do have a spare tire with the wheel lug wrench and so forth all right inside the car. Now again, all of our seals here all the way around are in great shape, nice and soft, no rips, tears, or chunks out of them. And again, they meet right together here in the center. Your water channels, your rain channels or rain gutters here, those are nice and solid all the way around on the trunk lid. So that's going to help channel all that water that might come in if you get caught out in a rainstorm somewhere. It's going to come right out, never is going to get inside that trunk. Let's go ahead and close this up. Okay, that shuts very easy. And then we'll come around the other side. Now again, as I kind of mentioned with every car, the sides of the cars here are very, very straight. Again, this car, like I said, being probably the original panels and possibly the original paint. If not original, it is older paint. It is still in great condition. You've got your quarter panel mounted antenna right here. Not power, it's just a manual. You lift it up if you need to there, but it is there. You've got the speaker in your rear package tray up there for the radio. Now again, over on this side, you'll just, kind of take notice of all the trim that we've already been over on the other side. Everything's all in great condition. Same thing here. I always like to check both sides of these tops out. Nice and flat here, nice and straight, no bubbles whatsoever. The seams on your vinyl top in great shape. And again, down through your rain gutter, nice and smooth all the way down. And you can see those drip rail moldings. Everything around all your windows and your glass here is in great shape. Even your door handles are in really good condition. Of course, you've got that rocker trim as well. Now let's go ahead, take a look at the interior now from the passenger side. Again, we just always do this because that way you get the an overall view of the complete interior from both sides. Again, your dash is in great shape, no rips or tears in the upholstery. Factory steering wheel, that full-length center console there with the automatic shifter. And then, like I said, always there before, your door panels are in good condition. Armrests, no rips or tears in those either. And again, your seals and weather stripping, everything has been all checked out, and everything all looks really good on this car. Again, that shuts very easy. We come around now a little further. Again, your gaps on your passenger side door, pretty much just like the driver's side. Nice uniform gaps there. Elevations are right on, and all of your body lines all match up on the car. This does also have the little Chrysler Pentastar emblem down there, as they all do. And a lot of people will send in to us and ask us, well, where's the one on the other side? Well, Mopar only ever put them just on one side. So that's why you see it on this side and not the other side. So that is correct. Now on our car here, again, like I said, a little bit older paint. We do have a little bit of a crack in the paint right here that has been brush touched. It's probably maybe 1.5 to 2 inches long there. So I just want to kind of point that out for you as well. Again, the matching Belvedere GTX emblems up on the front of the fender there as well. Now we get back to the front end of the car. So obviously you'll get to see that hood there. Again, this would be your GTX hood, all steel, got the black stripes on it with the dual scoops, and you can look at the gaps on that and how well that metal fits. Very nice as far as the hood fitment goes. The glass up front here for the windshield, no chips or cracks in that. Again, all of your bright work, your molding attached to fixed as it should be, and again, polished up really well. Even your windshield wipers, you got a nice set of arms on here and a good set of wiper blades there in case you would get caught in the rain anywhere. Now up front of our hood, you can see we do have the bright work here on the leading edge of the hood. Again, that's not in bad shape there either. Of course, you've got the Plymouth spelled out here on the front, and you've got the 440 emblem right here, right at the very leading edge of the hood there. As far as the grille itself goes, again, probably the original grille, but it is all intact. It's not broken. All solid here. Your headlights here, you've got both your high beam, your low beam. Those are just your traditional glass sealed beam lenses there. And again, there's no chips or cracks in any of those lenses. I've already mentioned that front bumper there. It is in great condition. No pitting, no scratching whatsoever. It's in great shape. So with that said, let's go ahead and go underneath the hood here. Bear with me while I get this raised up here. Just need to figure out how it actually, there we go, we got it. Okay. Now with the hood up, the underside of the hood here is actually in really nice shape. Of course, you've got your rubber seals in here all intact. You've got your hood insulation here all intact. Also, you don't see any pieces that are ripped or tore or hanging down whatsoever. That all looks good. The actual engine compartment itself done in the same color as the exterior of the car, and that is correct for the Mopars. I know the Chevys, the GMs, stuff like that, they did the black engine compartment, but Mopar always did the same color engine compartment as the exterior of the car. So again, like I said, that is correct. Our GTX, it does have the fender tag right here, which spells out basically all of your codes and so forth for the options that this car would have come with from the factory. So that still remains intact on the car. As far as, like I said, what we know about this car after decoding all of the numbers on the engine, transmission, rear end, and going through the fender tag and decoding those options, I think it is safe to say that we have the original motor for this car, a 440 motor here. It is date correct. Again, with a 67, you cannot claim that it is numbers match because they did not stamp them with the VIN. I believe they started at, I think, in 68. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I believe that is the case there. But anyways, we can say pretty safely that this is the original motor for the car, date correct according to, there is a date code on the block as well as the engine casting number. So we checked all of that stuff out. It's got the factory or OE style radiator in it with the shroud, your manual fan there. It does have the 440 Super Commando decal emblem there on the air cleaner, and this would be the factory air cleaner for this car. It's got a set of chrome valve covers on it with the breathers there. It's got the cast intake and so forth on it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's got the 4-barrel carburetor on it. And then of course you can see there it does have a set of just the cast exhaust manifolds for this. A lot of guys always left those cast exhaust manifolds on just because they were a lot easier to get to seal up and so forth. But in fact, this car does have a complete dual exhaust on it. So it's not fakes or anything like that. It is a complete dual exhaust. As far as the ignition system on this car goes, it is a stock ignition system, stock style distributor with coil, and the plug wires are in good condition. It is a power steering car. So you have that as far as that goes. It's going to steer really well for you. And then you have the 4-wheel drum brakes on the car, which stop very well. And then you also, it's all plumbed and hooked up for the emergency brake there also. Now, as far as the battery goes, I'm just kind of checking this out. It looks like the old style battery, and it very well might be. I know you used to be able to get like covers for these that made them look like this, but I'm thinking I think that this is actually a regular old style battery there. So kind of, again, keeping it all original looking. Again, it looks fantastic underneath here to have that stuff like that and to have it look like it's been not touched since 67 there. But anyways, as far as the drive line goes, the rest of it, like I said, after researching this, running the trim tag there, the fender tag, we've also found out it is a 727 Torqueflite automatic transmission, which is in fact exactly what this car would have come with from the factory, and exactly as it spells out on the trim tag, it's got a 323 Mopar 8 3/4 inch rear, and that's the shore grip rear end, the shore grip differential there, which is Mopar's posi unit for in their car. So all of that matches as to what this car would have and should have had from the factory. So like I said, we are pretty safe in saying that this would be the original motor, transmission, and rear end. And again, as I always say, not that when I say original, that doesn't mean that it's never been touched. Obviously, these things have been freshened up and made sure that everything is good roadworthy wise, which that is the case with this car. So having said that, that's pretty much it for our walk around of the car. What I'd like to do now is what I do with all the videos, and at the end I always let you know that depending on where you're watching this video from, keep in mind you can always go to our website, www.hanksters.com. You'll be able to see upwards of about 100 photos of the car. all the way around it, inside, underneath. You'll be able to zoom in on all of that stuff too and check things out in very good detail. The full retail price that you're seeing on the website, that's going to include enclosed shipping to anywhere within the 48 contiguous states of the United States of America. That's also going to include our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. What that entails is motor, transmission, rear end, if anything happens, anything to any internally lubricated items on the motor, all we do is ask you to give us a call. If you've got the warranty with the car, give us a call and we will be more than happy to walk you through the warranty process and help you along the way there with that. As far as any accessories or add-ons that you might like to see on the car or like to have added, just hit us up with a phone call, email, or a text message. Let us know exactly what those things would be that you'd like to see on the car. We'll be more than happy to go to work for you and get you a quote on parts, labor, having it installed, and helping you along the way of your journey into purchasing your next classic car. With that said, we're going to go ahead now, close this all up, take it back, get it on our lift, show you the whole underside of this car, and then fire this motor up for you. Hey folks, here we are again, back in our shop with our car up on the lift here. So as we always do, we're going to go through this car now, front to back. I'm going to point out to you exactly everything here that I'm looking up and seeing. That way you've got a good idea of what we have underneath here. So once again, our 67 Plymouth GTX. This car here it's really nice underneath here for kind of an all original style car here. So first thing I always look at on these Mopars, you look at the front cradle here, or K-member. This thing is in really good shape, nice and straight all the way across here. This is an important part to the car because, again, all your suspension and everything mount up to this section of the car. So you want to make sure it's good and straight. As far as the front suspension on the car, pretty much we have the what you would say is the stock or OEM style components here. So you've got your upper and lower control arms here. These are going to be just your stamped steel components. Then you have, with the Mopars, a lot of them, you got the strut rod style front suspension here. So the strut's going to that front of that K-member, the frame there, the bushings and everything, all your hardware there, mounting those, all in great condition. Of course, you can see here our GTX has the sway bar up front. So I check things like the sway bar end bushings, your frame mount bushings, and all of that is in really good shape. There's no splits, cracks, doesn't appear that anything's like dried out or anything. Looks all good. And then we move to the steering on the car. So I always look at the drag length, pitman arm, your tie rods, tie rod ends, all of your ball joints and stuff. Everything's been greased underneath here. Everything's been checked out here in our shop, and everything is all good to go for the road. So everything looks good underneath here as far as that goes. Now this is a power steering car, so you're not going to have any issues with that. It's not going to be hard to drive or anything. And as far as the braking system, which we'll move to that next, we are power brakes on this car, but it is drum brake, all 4 wheels. But still, I mean, being power drums, it still stops really, really good. And then to finish out the running gear, at least on the front of the car here, we're going to go ahead and show you the wheels and tires on the car. Very nice set of wheels here on this car. I like this look on these older Mopars. You've got the Magnum 500 style wheel up front. These are 14-inch diameter, and the chrome on these things are in really good shape. Of course, you can see they got the center caps on them, and we do have a set of, they're either new or like new Cooper Cobra tires. These are 225/70 R14s on all 4 corners, and like I said, the tread is in great condition there. As we move into the center again, now we'll talk a little bit more about that drive line. We've already hit on it as far as our exterior video goes, but right now, things I look at on it are going to be like the oil pan, where your gaskets and everything are, and then the transmission, and again, same thing, gaskets, seals, stuff to that nature. I want to make sure that I look and see if there's anything leaking or that I can see any drips or anything. And honestly, underneath this car here, looking around the oil pan on that motor, no leaks or drips around the pan or at the drain plug. Now again, we've already touched on this, but I want to do it again with the underside video. When we do these Mopars, we will do a decode on the fender tags. And again, this is a 440 cubic inch Mopar engine. We can't say that it's numbers match because they didn't do that back then. I think it was maybe around 68 they started doing that. But being that this is a 67, we can check out the casting number and the date codes on it compared to the fender tag decode. And again, this car would have come with the 440. And according to all that other information, this is more than likely the original motor for this car. It's date correct, not period correct, but date correct for this car, and a 440, which is correct. The transmission, same thing on that. According to the fender tag and according to all the research and stuff that we have done, 727 Torqueflite automatic transmission, and this is what would have been in this car from the factory. Transmission pan itself, I check around that. No leaks or drips there either, nice and dry. To the front here at the bell housing, we do have the cover there for the flywheel. So that's going to help eliminate dirt and debris from getting in there and possibly chipping a tooth or something like that from, you know, from up off of the road. The other things that we check out here, of course, all of your lines going into transmission, those are all nice and dry all the way up through. We check our transmission cross member here, nice and straight across. The transmission mount itself is in good shape. And of course, I check the output shaft seal for any leaks, and it is nice and dry all the way around too. Of course, with the Mopars, you do have the torsion bars here also for that front suspension there, and those are in good shape as far as like your bushings and so forth, where it goes through the cross member and up to the control arms. Those are all in good shape. Exhaust system here, starting up at your stock cast exhaust manifolds, you do have a full dual exhaust there, crossover pipe, the dual mufflers there, just a typical set of mufflers. I don't know if they'd be, they might be like a turbo style muffler, but that's what you got back there, as you can see. And then it does have the complete exhaust with the tailpipes on it, which we'll see here in just a moment. As far as the frame rails go, those are nice and straight as far back as they go. Like I said, that cross member all the way across is in great shape. Floors and like things like your pinch welds and your rockers here on this car. The floors, obviously we can see that the car has been undercoated, which does help, you know, preserve it. But again, you can see there are no patches that I can see under here, no holes. Again, everything is as it should be, all the correct stamped metal underneath here. You know, all your bracing and so forth is here. All of your drain plugs and rubber plugs in the floor exactly where they should be and all present. So all of that's good. Your pinch welds, nice and straight on both sides, as well as your rockers good and solid down both sides of the car. We also have all of your brake lines and your fuel lines run along those pinch welds nice and neat. No leaks or drips anywhere along any of those lines. You do have all the cables and everything all hooked up and plumbed back to your rear drums for the emergency brake, and yes, it is functional. Your drive shaft here, a balanced unit, and that's going to help eliminate any kind of driveline vibration that you might come across with a car, with the driveline period. As far as the rear end and rear suspension goes, again, research and going off of what we've got for the fender tag there. This is in fact the Mopar 8 3/4 inch rear end, 323 gear, shore grip differential in this thing, and that is again exactly what that trim tag would have called out for. So again, I call out that, you know, this is probably all the original driveline for this particular car. I'm not saying that it's never been serviced or anything. Obviously this car's been on the road, been running great. It's been checked out here as well. Everything is in good shape on this car, but again, with having all the original stuff on it, definitely definitely adds value to a car like this. As far as the rest of the rear suspension, we got the multi-leaf rear suspension back here. Our shocks are in great shape. All the bushings and the mounting hardware on those is in great condition. Like I said, that emergency brake all hooked up. Brake lines back here is all good shape. Your front snout on the rear end, as well as your third member, nice and dry all the way around there. If we come out around the side, you'll get a shot there of the condition of the rear wheels and tires. Now, again, all the same stuff. The 14-inch Magnum 500 chrome steel wheels, the 225 70 R14 Cooper Cobra Radial GTs. Now you can see the rest of the exhaust here. You got your tailpipes here all the way up around the rear end and exiting out the back right underneath that rear bumper. Nice set of chrome tips, and everything on this exhaust system all clamped up nice and secure. You're not going to have any rattles. You're not going to have any leaks in that exhaust. Everything's in great shape. Fuel tank itself, again, in great condition here. There's no dents or dings in any of that. Again, your mounting hardware, your straps and so forth, those are in great shape. And again, from what we can see of the trunk floor from underneath, that is in good condition too. Even your fuel fill neck and so forth, everything. No leaks, no drips whatsoever. So that's pretty much it as far as our GTX goes from the underside. So now to finish things off, we'll get this down off the lift, go underneath the hood, let you hear what that 440 Mopar engine sounds like.